Yo, welcome back. Today we're on something a bit random. You can already see in the background what we're going to be doing. So Green Cable are here and my green wheelie bin, which you would have seen loads of reels on of me throwing all my scrap cable off site into a big green wheelie bin, keeping it as a tap bin, and then Green Cable themselves come and collect it. And today we're going to run through and film the whole process of that and then clear all the queries of how much they pay, how it works, when you can get one, where to sign up, and all of that, and then meet Ed himself, one of the founders of the company, and he can run through exactly how the process works. So a bit about my bin. Majority of it's twin and earth cable. Obviously being a domestic Sparky, I don't get loads of SWA and stuff like that. However, I have acquired some SWA, some spare cables that were on reels that past customers have given me. So first step, get in contact with Green Cable saying that your bin's full, and then obviously arrange an appointment or collection date. You don't actually have to be in, so you can just keep your side gate unlocked or leave it out front depending where you live, if you live in a trusted community as such. Probably shouldn't be showing you this, but I keep my bin down the side alley, nice and safe. Ed's here, so he'll run us through the whole process. I've just mic'd him up, so you're not camera shy, are you?
I'm not, no.
That's all right then. So this is Ed. He's going to run through absolutely everything for us. He's going to treat it as a normal collection, but obviously he's got an idiot pointing a camera in his face, so you'll have to deal with that, eh?
Let's go. So we've just arrived at Ad's, having let him know about a week ago we'll be here today, and we've just found his bin around the corner.
Someone conveniently left that out for you.
Nice and secure, out of the way. We don't mind people leaving it behind the garden gate or around the back of the house just to make sure it's as secure as possible. We're going to take it to the back of the van and see how much money Ad has earned himself.
There we have it, it's going.
So is it just this you've got today?
No, so I've got a few other bits. I've got some armoured and then some old cable drums from past customers, which they've given me, which I've just kept in the garage separate.
Excellent, we'll have a look at that in a bit. So now we have a look at what's in the bin, and on first glance it seems as though most of it is household, and we'll see exactly what's in there shortly when we tip it up.
I heard that's a gold mine.
It's
definitely full.
I tell you what, it's full and it feels heavy, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, I'm going to be quids in after this.
I think you might be.
All right, let's get it on the vac. I would help, mate, but...
No, I know. Let me do the work. So what we do now is we get it on top, weigh it, the indicator's there for you to see. I'll also tip it into a bag to inspect the full contents. Obviously what I see there is just household. You could have some bricks or something at the bottom, which I'm sure you wouldn't do.
You do that, do you?
Well, I wouldn't do it, but you might.
So we've got the bin on the tail lift now, ready to be dragged onto the scales. We've got the scales here calibrated to 0, so the customer can see if you're here, or if not, they take photos of every process, is that right? So
That's
you take
correct.
photos.
Yep.
Obviously that's for the waste carrier license and just good customer feedback.
Full transparency.
Yeah, that's it. So the customer knows exactly what's going on. So we're going straight onto the scales, are we?
Let's do it. We wait for the reading to secure, and that's showing 90 kilos on the money, which minus, 89, 90, and then minus 10 for the bin, standard weight, which means you've got around 79 kilos of cable in there, which is a good fill. That's about an average weight of an electrician's bin.
So you've just seen that my bin weighs 90 kilos, fair amount in my eyes. I'm just going to run through now, because I bet you're all typing away, how much 90 kilos is worth, and then also a bit about different cable prices depending on what cable you got. So obviously you've got your PVC, domestic, normal, twin and earth, you've got your armoured, you've got high tough, which is obviously like pretty much plastic sheathed as well. Or for you stinky plumbers out there, how much copper you can get in your bins, so copper tubes, brass taps. Anything else you take?
Aluminium, we'll take lead acid batteries, gel batteries.
So over to you, Ed, if you could answer those few questions and queries that people are going to be typing away now, just to save them typing.
Yeah, sure. So you're a standard electrician with a great full bin here, mainly of household as far as I can see. However, we'll tip this in a minute, see what's further down there, because I can't see what's beneath those initial few inches, and then we'll go from there in terms of how we grade it, how we weigh it, and how we price it. So initially, we're looking at 89 kilos right now, which is a pretty standard bin. I mean, most electricians' bins are full of this material type, and they vary from 70-ish kilos all the way to 140 kilos I had the other day, which is 130 kilos of material. Now, to get that sort of weight, you really have to condense the material, you have to push it down, you have to spin it around really tight to minimize the gaps between each cable. So what we'll do now is tip this bin, inspect the contents lower down, and ensure that Adam's put no bricks in the bottom.
I hope you had your Weetabix, mate.
I did! There we go.
So this is similar to a ton bag, which you just tipped it into. Obviously, you can see straight away there. Are you happy with that, Ed?
Looks great to me.
Pretty much domestic stuff.
Yeah, it
Twin
looks
and
great
Earth.
to me. I can see it's all household, twin and earth, and therefore a flat rate for the whole weight.
Jobs are good. There is a few, so what's the score here? Straight away, I can see a few chocolate blocks. What's the score with stuff like that?
Not a problem at all. If there were larger plugs in there, let's say a dozen or 15 of those, we'd downgrade it slightly, but just for that weight.
Yep.
You go to some scrap yards and they'll knock you for the whole lot and say it's actually worth a lot less, but we don't do that. We make sure we give a fair price and we grade it fairly as well. Add what you've got here is 80 kilos of household cable. Today's rate on that is £1.80 a kilo in your region, which is earning you £144. That's a pretty average value for most electricians' bins. Most electricians will fill it to about the same amount you had there and earn anything between 110, 120, all the way up to £180. Now, most electricians that use our service are filling our wheelie bins every 8 to 10 weeks. So do the maths on that. Most electricians are earning between £750 to £1,000 a year just from their scrap cable.
So in essence, what Ed's telling us is, if you're not collecting all your scrap cable off sites, which obviously you've got to have permission for, so then you can take it away and take it home and fill your green cable bin, then you're just losing out on free money. So this bin here, obviously it takes about 8 to 12 weeks, you said, on average to fill a bin.
On average.
So, and then roughly you're coming out like 140 quid. So in my eyes, over the year, £1,000. That's mint. So after looking at all this cable and realising how much money I can earn easily for 5 minutes work, I don't understand why people wouldn't have a green cable bin. I'm just going to speak about a few more, which is about the concerns people have and how you're so open and transparent as a business, which is good, to be fair. Most tradesmen are like that. So you've got to be open, honest. Say like when I'm doing carrying out works, I take photos, show the customer, and you do that yourselves, don't you?
Yeah, I would compare the service we offer directly to the job you do.
Yep.
If you screw a customer over on price or time, you'll never get business from them again and they won't recommend you. It's the same with us.
Yeah.
So the way in which we work is we photograph everything that we collect, everything we weigh. The prices we pay have to be competitive because if they're not, customers won't use us a second time and a third time and thereon and thereafter. And then also the grading of material, we are very good on. And as I said before, if you had a lot of plastic in there, your classic scrapyard would downgrade it.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. Now, the last point is there's no contract, there's no subscription fee, there's no collection fee. You just prove yourself as a practicing trade professional and then we get a bin to you, give us a go. If you're not happy, we take the bin back free of charge.
That's good, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But you are classing me as a professional trade, aren't you?
Yeah, loosely.
So Ed's just said, go and get your extra cable out the garage. And yeah, I definitely come dressed for the occasion. I'm in all green, even got green shoes on the go. And then I've got scrap cable as armbands. So yeah, let's take this round to the back of the van and see what we can get. Right, let's offload these onto the tailgate. Am I right just throwing them down?
What the flipping heck are you doing?
Told you, I've got some extras in the
More
garage.
gear.
All the gear, no idea, as I like
That's
to
you,
say.
Adam.
Yep. Right, I've got some more as well, is that all right?
If you've got more, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got some that are full drums. Is that okay?
So you've got the cable on the drum still?
Yeah.
Yeah, we accept that. That's not a problem.
Just got this lot out the garage as well, so it's some old 3-core, and then these are 2 brand new drums, which an old customer has given me. So we'll get them weighed in.
If you didn't know how to juggle 3 drums and a camera, then what you do is you put them all through your arms. Good job I've got skinny arms. And then carry on like this, which is quite heavy. Like my
Okay,
carrying technique, yeah. Put it through the arm.
you're made for green cable.
I know.
If things don't work out in the YouTube world, just come and join our team.
Yeah. Dressed for the occasion as well, all green. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but yes, I did.
So we've got the stuff out of my garage in. We've got some armoured cable there, a variety of bigger stuff. Oh, you've already got that on the scales, haven't you? So
Yep.
that's 25 kilos, that lot. So it'll get that off and into the bag as well. Armoureds are in the bag now, literally. Bit more money in the pot. So now what's the score with these?
So these, despite being on the reels, will still weigh through as household. So no need to strip them. Just keep them on the reels. Hand them to us, either like you have done or in the bin. Weigh them through. And
6
that'll be
kilos.
a little bit more. There you go, 10. So we add that onto the total so far.
Ed's just going to run us through where he's been noting down all the different weights and keeping track of what cable has certain weights. Obviously, all under that transparency model of the business. So if I switch to Ed and his iPad, he'll run through a bit about where he's been noting it down.
Sure. So the way in which I've recorded this is on our waste transfer document, which is a document you'll receive by email after the collection's been carried out. Here you'll see bin delivery charge of £19.50. This is your first collection, so that's just covering the cost of our delivery to you in the first place. It's a one-off thing, you won't get it again. Then we've got household cable, the bin, 80 kilos at £1.80 a kilo. Low grade, which we chucked onto the scales just now, 25 kilos at £1,100 per tonne, or £1.10 a kilo. And then those reels you just gave me, I bolted those on the bottom, 10 kilos, household cable, again, 1,800 a tonne, or £1.80 a kilo. So all of this is recorded on your account. We send it to you by email shortly after the collection, and then you get payment shortly after.
So I was just talking to Ed, and I said I've got a few mates down south that are in the trades also, and they're waiting for the Green Cable Company to expand, which they currently are rapidly, but they're just waiting for them to expand down south to their area to unlock that new area, so they can also make good use of this service, as well as me and many others. So I'll just hand over to Ed, and you're going to talk about a bit more about the expansion, so how you're growing, what areas you're going to cover, and then what's in the future, so what's coming.
So Green Cable's expanding really quickly. Just a couple of years ago, we were just serving in Birmingham and surrounding boroughs. Now we're reaching as far north as Skipton, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, all the way down to Reading, Swindon, Milton Keynes, Luton, and along there, along the M4 corridor. So we've expanded really quickly and are continuing to expand.
So with that massive expansion, and obviously you're planning to cover the whole of the UK, is that going to be incur any changes?
Yeah, quite a few changes are happening. So up until very recently, we just had a couple of Luton vans doing collections. Now we've got multiple HGVs serving a huge area and getting to more customers than ever. So in order to achieve that, we need to slightly tweak the service. And instead of weighing and paying on the spot like we've done outside your house today, we are instead collecting material, photographing it, bagging it up into sealed containers, taking it back to HQ and doing the processing and weighing there, followed by the paying shortly after. So instead of a process that takes 25 minutes outside a house, it takes 6 or 7 minutes for us to collect it, and then you'll be paid a couple of days later, and you'll still receive the waste transfer document, the photos, and the payment straight into your bank.
So Ed's put all that cable into the rubble sack now, so that's all in and nice and secure. All of this, he's just put it all into his iPad, has come out to a whopping total of £190, but then you've got to deduct the like £20 bin charge as such for my first one. So really, it's a great whopping total for minimum effort and just collecting scrap on site, keeping hold of it in your green wheelie bin. End of the week, empty your van out. What I normally do is keep a rubble tub in my van, full of scrap. End of the week, just fire it all in the green cable bin, and then that's it really. It's just nice, easy money, which us Sparkies like. I just thought I'd cover as well, or ask Ed the question. So if there's any other tradies watching this, might be stinky plumbers watching it, or builders, or anything like that, that are collecting scrap, and obviously you've got legitimate reasons for collecting your scrap, and you can prove that to Green Cable, then you obviously can open an account. So what trades do you typically see opening an account day to day?
Day to day, about 70 to 80% are electricians. However, we've actually had quite a few plumbers and heating engineers use your referral code.
Ugh, gross.
They're watching you.
Oh, we won't say that. Oh,
They're
great.
watching you. They're loving your content.
Yeah.
So plumbers, heating engineers, a lot of them we do serve. And then we also serve data and IT. They generate a lot of cable in the service centres.
Yeah, very
Training
true.
centres, we serve them as well. HVAC, builders and carpenters, they do a lot of rip-outs, so we serve them. As long as someone proves to us they are a trade professional or a company, not a problem.
And it's all legitimate as such, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So Ed just briefly mentioned about how some plumbers have been using my referral code, and a lot of like Sparkies have throughout the country. And obviously the more Green Cable expands, the more this will be widely available to yourselves. So to get a Green Cable bin, there'll be a link in the description below, which is like my referral code. So you can sign up with that, or you can go, that's the best way, or you can go direct on the Green Cable bin website and obviously fill out the application form.
Yeah.
And then on there, there's like a how-to.
How found.
That's it. So a how-to, a bit about yourself, and then how found. So obviously you can put me as a referral, and then obviously I'll be accredited, and then obviously you'll get a green bin delivered and dropped off.
Exactly. Simple as that.
2 more questions I've just got to ask yourself, Ed,
Sure.
and people may be wondering. So that is, how do you actually book in a collection? Obviously, I've booked in yourself personally, but how do customers book in with yourself for a full bin?
Sure. So when you get your bin delivered, shortly after you receive a welcome email, which gives you all the step-by-step processes of how to use the service.
Yep.
And at the top of there, you've got an account number. Go onto the website, book a collection, put your account number in, job done.
Okay. And then the second question is regarding the collection also. Do I have to be in, or what happens if I'm not in?
So no, you don't have to be in. Every collection we carry out, we give a week's notice
Yep.
of a date. The day before, we give you a 2-hour time window. And we're happy to give you a call when we're, say, 30 minutes away on the day. So if you want to be there, we can make sure you are. But if you're at work, out enjoying yourself elsewhere, just leave the bin in a safe place, behind the garden gate, behind the back of the house, behind the car in the driveway, wherever it might be, and we take it from there.
Say the customer doesn't get loads of scrap. Is there a minimum amount they have to do it per year?
Sure. We understand with the nature of the trade,
Yep.
generating scrap is feast or famine. Sometimes you get loads in a few weeks and none for months after. Other times you get it very rarely, but in large volumes.
Yeah, say you're on a rewire, you get loads because you're ripping out the whole lot. But then say you're doing jobbing jobs, just fixing stuff, you're not
Yeah.
going to get loads, are you?
Exactly, we get it, we understand. So we don't chase people, we don't give you a minimum frequency of collections per year. We just make sure you're eligible to have a bin.
Yeah.
If you fill it once a year, fine. If you fill it once a week, fine. We're flexible.
So as you saw today, my bin was full to the brim and I had some spares in the garage, which obviously I've kept aside, but now I know the answer of how and what I should do with that for future collections. So what would I do if my bin was half full regarding the collection? Could I have that collected or not?
No, so a requirement of the service is that the bin is filled to the top. The reason for that is because we pay such competitive rates, profit margin is very low, so we need to make sure that we're collecting enough material to make it worth our while to come and visit you and to collect it.
So that's a bit about Green Cable. You can get the bin below, like we said. We'd just like to say thanks to Ed for coming today, doing the collection, and you might see him out on your further collections on customers that are going to come from this video. So thanks, Ed, and we'll probably see you again in a few months once my bin's full again, ready for another collection.
Nice one, Ad. Good to
Yeah.
meet you.